have something for you when you have a moment.
Back, Mr. Tolfik. I am aware that this is your 8th visit to our resort.
It may be paradise, but that doesn't mean we don't run into trouble from time to time.
Welcome to Paradiso. Jiro Sugiyama at your service. Do you have a security concern, or is there something else I can help you with? Ah, yes, of course. I'm glad you came. As you can imagine, we're in a bit of a predicament. Under normal circumstances, we would not enlist outside help in this manner. But this is a matter we can't afford to worry our guests about. As such, we need to handle this discreetly. Failure on your part to do so could have severe consequences. So, before we proceed, can you swear not to discuss this with anyone else unless explicitly directed to do so? Great, I appreciate it. Not too long ago, a strange and enormous ship appeared in Parima space. It is now locked in orbit around our planet. So far, it doesn't seem to be hostile, but any attempts to communicate with it have been in vain, so we're unsure of the ship's intentions. It is. Whatever's going on, we need to approach this with care. First, see if you have more luck communicating with them. If not, you may have to try boarding. Whatever you do, it's important to remember to seek diplomacy with who or whatever's on board. As soon as you have any more information, report to Oliver Campbell. He's the CEO of Paradiso. All formal decisions will need to go through him, and he'll have your pay. Good luck.
Suppose I have time for a nap before we leave. Picked up something you might be interested in.
Stay alert. Weapons at the door.
You're human. It's just that we weren't expecting to find life, let alone human life out here. We thought we were the only ones to leave Earth.
Imagine being cut off from humankind for that long. How terribly frightening that would be.
Perhaps we should greet our guests.
Of course. Manners. I'm Captain Diana Brackenridge. This is Security Officer And this is Dr. Mabuti da Costa, one of our elders.
A pleasure to meet you.
I see. As you may have presumed, we're in a bit of a bind. Our ship has finally completed its near 200-year journey from Earth, only to find our new home seemingly colonized by... well, we don't know. Communications haven't been successful, so your arrival is fortuitous. Perhaps you'd be willing to act as a middle person between ourselves and... the others. Ah, your question confirms one of our recent theories. It would seem that some form of faster-than-light travel or space-bending technology was invented during our long journey. That would explain why we would find people this far out into space. I guess technology leapfrogged us at some point. Interesting. I can only imagine that our predecessors didn't believe the technology would ever work, and so they made the decision to leave when they did. Oh yes, of course. Where are my manners? Now then, please follow me. There's much to discuss first. We'll speak more on the matter once we reach the bridge. Dr. da Costa, you may return to your quarters if you wish.
Thank you, Captain.
I will follow you to the bridge, ma'am. For security purposes.
I do not believe we have need to fear our guest, but I'll allow it if you insist. Welcome to the Earth colony ship Constant. In the early 2100s, my ancestor, Rupert Brackenridge, researched a number of scientific scenarios: climate change, asteroid impact, nuclear war, global pandemic, and more. Each scenario showed the likelihood of an extinction-level event to be within 50 years. He fully believed Earth was destined to be rendered uninhabitable. We've always assumed that's what happened. So, he gathered the best and brightest he could find, built the Constant, and set a course for this planet here. We were told that it was the largest, most advanced ship ever constructed on Earth at the time.
Careful waving that
If you can believe, entire generations have been born, lived, and died on this ship. It really goes to show that there are no limits to human ingenuity and perseverance.
The Constant is a peaceful ship. Don't change that.
We've got strict rules around here, but they're strict for a reason.
So, here we are. Let's talk. No matter the outcome, I won't let my crew down. Well, as I mentioned, we've been unsuccessful in communications with anyone up until you arrived, though not for lack of trying. But since you're asking, maybe you'd be willing to be a sort of diplomat between us and them as we attempt to resolve our situation. Does that sound agreeable to you? Ah, so they have a name. Paradiso. And it sounds promising that they sent you here to speak with us. You see, we intended to settle here, but we assumed that they intend to defend their claim given their presence here. We'd like you to go speak to them on our behalf and help us negotiate a solution, preferably one that favors us. When we left Earth, there were no claims to planets this far out into space. We had assumed that we were the only ones attempting a generational journey such as this, meaning that there would be no need for a formal claims process. Regardless, my ancestor, Rupert Brackenridge, did manage to file a charter for this planet's first colony, to be named New Jamestown. According to his records, no one took it seriously when he filed it, so likely it was either ignored or the records were lost to the ages. Given humanity's lack of interest in colonizing the far reaches of space at the time, it shouldn't have been a problem, but again, here we are now. Based on the data our ancestors had when they launched this endeavor, it was determined that this was the perfect planet for us. Even if we had another viable candidate planet, we lack the resources to get there. And as you know, it took us 200 years to get here. Our people have no desire to go back to drifting the stars so their children's children can possibly settle on an inferior planet. Yes, of course. But we need to start from a firm position and state our goal. If need be, we can compromise, work out a mutually beneficial deal or some such, but initially I'd like you to be firm with them and convince them to leave the planet to us. Let me know how they respond, and we'll go from there. Now, it makes little sense to give up before you try. Thank you, and good luck.
Just stay out of trouble. Now that we know what's out there.
I have.
Ship moving.
I have things for you.
Paradiso Security is only here for your
No one's going to care if I call out sick from work.
Think would be a prime target for pirates.
Something for you when you have a moment.
Excuse me, you can't just waltz in there. Do you have an appointment? Oh, you're the one they're waiting for then. Do you need anything else from me before you meet with the board? What I could tell you would get me in a lot of trouble. Most of them are typical sea-level execs. I doubt you even need to use your imagination for that. The ones that show up to work day to day, at least. I swear, I've never even met some of them, because they chill at their own private secluded beach homes all the time. Anyway, be smart around Oliver. He's got a way of getting what he wants without you realizing it. And that's all I'll say. Sure. Have fun in the shark tank. And don't worry, even they call it that.
I just feel that we should be focusing on the natural beauty
Hello?
of this planet.
I didn't realize
not our
Kiwi was letting
amenities.
people in here.
I am.
And you must be the diplomat Giro told me about. Welcome, welcome. Normally I'd offer you an all-inclusive stay at our resort before we spoke. But given the circumstances, I'm going to cut to the chase. We've got our friends, the aliens, up there causing all sorts of problems for our resort. You like that? The marketing team came up with it. The thought is, if we can't get rid of them, it might actually attract more tourism. Come see the aliens! We're being direct then. Good on you. So, what do you know about this dodgy ship I'm hearing all about? Well, that's something. Shame we can't just tell them kindly to bugger off. Something tells me that's not going to work. Now, tell me, what are we going to do about it? Give me some proposals, people. I need something to work with here.
We could offer to resettle them here. There's more than enough space.
They could stay here, temporarily, but it'll cost them. Quite a bit, too. They'd need to work off all their debts before being allowed to leave.
Maybe not. What if we help them get out of here? Outfit their ship with a grav drive so they can find a new home. We could even lend our engineers to help and give their captain an updated star map. What do you think?
Sounds costly. We can't absorb that cost, and it's unlikely they even have compatible currency, let alone enough for the transaction. Someone else would have to foot the bill.
Oh, I swear this would be a lot easier if they ceased to exist entirely. Anyway, Seema's got the right idea. Either works for me. Just tell me what you want to do. And which proposal will you be taking to the good captain? I assume there's a captain? Good on you. You want to see a man named Benny St. James over at Hope Tech. He's the best in the business. If anyone can retrofit a 200-year-old ship with a modern grav drive, it'd be him. We'll coordinate our engineering team with his when you return, though you may have to help the Constance engineers prepare for it on their end. Good luck.
I know this was a difficult decision, but if it's any consolation, I think you've made the right choice. Compared to the destruction of their vessel and relegating them to a life of servitude, I'd say this is the best chance they've got.
Right. On behalf of the Paradiso Group, we appreciate your help.
There are millions of planets out there. People can go to any one of them.
Your safety is our #1 priority.
Please, let the concierge...
Oh, this looks like a lovely place for us to... While we're here, we should swing by Hope Tech Star Yard and see if they have anything interesting for sale.
I don't want to hear any complaints.
Something you might be interested in.
Someone needs to do something!
the hell do I
No,
do?
that wouldn't work. Sure, that sounds like me. What can I do for you? I'm a little busy, but I think I could spare some time. Oh, you should have just said that. Of course I can help you. Oliver sent a courier ahead of you. I did some research on ships from that era, and I have a decent idea what we're dealing with. So grav drives didn't really take off until after the ship was built.
Someone needs to do
But
something.
I've got access to an ancient grav drive that looks like it could be compatible. With some minor adjustments. It's in good shape, too. Parts not cheap, though. Neither is the labor. Just pay the combined cost of parts and labor, and it's yours. It's a pretty big ask, given how rare these old grav drives are. Maybe it is selfish of me to demand such a price. Tell you what, sounds like this is for a good cause. While I can't give you the part for free, I won't charge you for the work. You're darn right it is. I'll get to work on it right away. I recommend you go back to the ship and ask the captain to prepare for its retrofit. Standard stuff. I'm sure they have an engineer on board to help. We'll send the part along when it's ready and install it with the help of Oliver's people. Pleasure working with you.
Keep an eye on your valuables.
Welcome to Hope Deck. How may I help you?
When you have a moment. Tin, where are we headed next? Have things for you.
Just because our equipment's old.
I wonder what it's like out there, Bill.
I was hoping to talk to our visitor from outer space, and here you are! Welcome, welcome! I have a million burning questions, but I won't overwhelm you. There will be plenty of time for that later. Please, indulge me just a couple. How did you do it? Did humanity finally discover faster than light travel and eclipse our poor old ship? I knew it. It's incredible! I read about this technology in our archives from Earth, but it was only theoretical back then. Amazing! I'll have to learn more. Oh, I've got so many questions, but I'm being rude. I haven't even given you my name. Chief Engineer Kazemi, but you can call me Amin. And, I might add, I'm one of the reasons we're still floating out here today. Yes, of course. Anything for my new friend. What grab drive? Just joking with you. The Paradiso engineers filled me in. Okay, let's see what we need to do. All right. This will be fun. And hopefully there will be no explosions in the process. I have just received word that the drive is here. Ready to get to work? Great, great, great! There are 3 preparations I need you to help me make while I set things up on my end. First thing I need you to do is reroute the power from the port turbo pump to the auxiliary cryogenic radiator. Then, turn the plasma runoff inhibitor function to 5%. Last, you'll need to decouple the magnetic flange pipe enclosures from the auxiliary module assembly. Got it? Let's hop to it! Looks like everything is good to go on both your end and mine. Can you go and...
We were never trained to address threats coming from.
Now that we know what's out there,
just stay out of trouble.
we didn't believe anyone would be out here, but I'm glad for it. Well, well, it would appear we have the means to go nearly anywhere now, thanks to you. The engineers even upgraded our communications equipment so we can speak with passing ships. Turns out it was a pretty easy fix. Thank you again for all you've done. We don't yet know, but we did receive a star map from the Paradiso engineers. I suppose we'll just chart a course for other suitable habitable worlds until we find one that matches the quality of Paradiso. Purima 2 here. Without you, we'd most likely be stuck. But you went above and beyond. I'll make sure people tell tales of your generosity for as long as our society lives. I don't know if we can ever fully repay you. Thank you again.
I have to say, with technology this outdated, I'm amazed this vessel is able to navigate at all. It's almost like walking through music.
Just because our equipment's old doesn't mean it won't. We've got strict rules around here.
Be Jemison, but this ship is starting to feel like home.
Hands offline! Fire back! Can't take much more! Shit. Just die already! Target snapshot has been knocked offline! You see ship? Not very smart!
Huh. You don't usually see spacers this far out. Your designation? Huh. UC Vanguard. You people are a class act. Any way we can repay you? That's really impressive. We gotta resume our patrol. Stay safe.
nature of your communication. Well, if it isn't our savior. Glad to see a friendly face out here. I think we're doing pretty good. Captain Breckenridge hasn't informed me of any pressing concerns, at least. Oh, you know what? I think I heard Janet grumbling about needing help with something. Maybe come aboard and talk to her? Actually, Abe might need some help from someone with the ship. He's been stressing out about it lately, but what else is new? You can always dock with us and go talk to him. Not bad, but not great. As you can imagine, we're still searching, unfortunately. We visited some promising worlds, but Captain Breckenridge has shot them down for one reason or another. Some of the reasons have been very good, honestly, like not wanting to live on a planet with lots of volcanic activity or one that constantly smells of sulfur. But I feel like we could have settled for less than absolute perfection by now. It's hard to say at the moment. We're actually sitting here trying to figure that out. We have a few more planets and moons in mind to check out. The captain is convinced at least one of them will be to her liking. It's disappointing that we haven't found something yet, or settled for less, but I get it. We want to make sure our forever home is as good as it can be, and there are no shortages of hospitable worlds. Great! The engineers are keeping it running smoothly. The grav drive's still working like a charm. And now that we can contact others out there, we've been able to pick up supplies and perform some much-needed maintenance on the old constant.
Hey, can we skip the local chunks this time? Never agrees with my stomach. Did you want to talk for a bit? If you think it will help, then feel free. I've been giving that a lot of thought. I'm going to suggest she stay at the lodge, but I don't want her to think that I'm forcing her to follow in my footsteps. At the very least, it should give her a safe place from which she can adjust to her new way of life. It had to be blind luck. The shuttle had almost zero propulsion and no defensive shielding. It would have taken a hell of a pilot to land the ship without it breaking into a million pieces. Sure, glad to help. I certainly do. It's all yours. As much as I'm eager to explore the universe, there's nothing quite like the feeling of returning home.
Things are gonna be rough for a while. Lodge has wounds that need healing.
So we know the answer. Who are the Starborn? Well, we are. We're some cracked mirror version of ourselves. The whole thing seems unreal. Doesn't it? I was hoping the Starborn were somehow so advanced that their concerns were cosmic, significant. Instead, they're fighting over goddamn toys like we've been doing since caveman times. It's just a stupid game to them. And all our deaths and suffering, not relevant. And they seem to be just as messed up as the rest of us. So the Unity is a gateway. A gateway to countless possibilities. And you have a chance to go through it. Imagine. I'd be lying if it doesn't sound like the adventure of a lifetime. I don't know if you're taking anyone with you. But if you take me, I got no idea if I'd go through or not. If it weren't for Cora, I'd jump on it in a heartbeat. Cora would probably shove both of us out of the way and dive in first. Born explorer, that girl. Exactly, right? I know it's your decision who to work with, but you gotta remember that the Hunter murdered our friend. Sure, the emissary may be a version of Barrett, but he's not our Barrett. But that doesn't make what the Hunter did right. Not by a long shot. If the Starborn are party crashers from different universes, I'd side with the one that's not willing to murder innocents to win. Excellent. Glad to hear it. My head is still spinning. Maybe after a few nights' sleep it'll be clearer. Take care.
Captain?
Emergency request. Facility Crucible requires vital materials to sustain the mission. Transmitting coordinates on Charybdis 3. End of message.
approach this ship, proceed to your previous course. Do I have to spell it out for you? This is not a trading vessel. You understand who we are, right? Get off this channel.
This place looks well defended. We should watch our backs.
Human of unknown origin detected. Designated outsider. This is an undisclosed secret location. Please identify purpose or depart. Acknowledging receipt of emergency request. Explanation deemed acceptable. Clearance granted to Crucible. Outsider will deliver 150 units of copper. Compensation will be dispensed.
Tobias, stand down. We have a visitor.
Reminder, deliver required material. End of conversation.
This is incredible. For so long we hoped for any visit, and the day has finally arrived. Forgive Tobias. He only does what he is made to do. Your arrival is truly an historic one, but many fear what it portends. The societies have closed their doors and are arguing about what to do, while the rest hide to see which way the wind blows. Franklin would know what to do. He's the oldest among us. You should talk with him. Give it time, and I'm sure the others will come out. For curiosity's sake, if nothing else.
This place... there's something about it that simply doesn't make sense. We should proceed with caution.
When your ship landed, I feared the robots would shoot you on sight. I am greatly relieved that they let you enter our community, but you come during a delicate time. Everyone will seek to use your arrival to further their own ends. As well you should. I am Franklin Delano Roosevelt, leader of the Pragmatist Society. It is gratifying that even after all these years, my name isn't entirely forgot. You see, I was an American president. Well, not literally, but in a sense I was. Everyone that lives here are clones. Some of us are clones of the greatest figures of history, and others, well, we don't rightly know. When we die, and some of us die quite often, we are brought back. I cannot imagine how strange this must sound to an outsider.
This is astonishing. It's like walking through some type of living museum of Earth's history.
Then you must live a remarkably interesting life. After decades, centuries, of trying to figure it out ourselves, there is so very much we don't know either. The robots clone us for a reason, their so-called mission. But what that is, and what we should do about it, is something the societies disagree about. Sometimes violently. It's best you meet with the other societies, and after, I promise I'll explain the pragmatist's position on matters. Be careful what you wish for. Word has been sent, so the street should be full again. There is more I would talk with you about, but I would not take advantage of your ignorance. Go speak with the Monirinas and Genghis Khan.
Welcome to town, stranger. Consider me part of the welcoming committee. The name's Wyatt Earp, and I'd be most pleased if you'd use one of the spare rooms during your stay. For a modest fee, of course. He was, and I try to be. I do the best I can to uphold the law, but the societies make that difficult. I expect I've had as much success restraining Genghis as the Chinese did. I do what I can. Roosevelt and I are both of the same mind on that. That's a generous offer. I might take you up on it. Well, I hope you enjoy your stay. And by the by, I may have access to some essentials I've picked up over the years. Happy to sell them to you. Hopefully you take fancy to something. Of course. A pleasure talking with you.
You're the most exciting thing that's happened.
This unit is busy.
I had hoped you would visit me. Good. Know that you stand before Queen Amanirinas of the Kush.
queen of a dead kingdom on a dead world. But I earned my name, and even the sands of time cannot take it from me. Your courtesy is appreciated, even though it rings hollow. My subjects are all dust. If you don't believe me, know you are not alone. Some clones deride me behind my back. I know this, but I feel in my bones that I am a Manirinas for true. The great and the terrible, to those who would oppose me. I remember things no one has told me. Memories of faces, betrayers, lovers, allies, and enemies. And the smells. The right scent. And I close my eyes. And I can picture all of it. So vividly. It aches my heart. My home. My kingdom. If your mind and heart remain open, you will see the truth of it. Once, I called upon mighty armies. However, on Crucible I still lead. Have you heard of the believers? Have you heard of the mission? We are the ones who will take our rightful place in these settled systems to bring in a new glorious age and break the endless cycles of oppression and greed. You are skeptical. My advisors thought the same when Augustus Caesar stood unbeatable at Cush's border. I made war against the mighty Romans. I took their cities and fought them to a draw. No other king or queen can boast of that honor against that famed Roman. And that's just me. Some of the greatest lions of all ages are awaiting rebirth. What are bureaucrats, petty politicians, and lawyers against that? If we could do it ourselves, we would have, years ago. I do not care if you think my plan is insane. But what I want, what we want, is a chance to prove to the facility we are ready. When someone has achieved their potential, the facility is supposed to set us free among the stars. But the machines have been breaking more and more over the years, and no one has ever been deemed worthy. I need your help to properly fix the facility so that we can prove ourselves and claim our birthright. Then listen well, outsider. You must go to the facility. The robots and what drives them is not here. The facility is where they come from. Somewhere far to the east. None of us can travel there. But you can. Go there, please. And see if the facility can be repaired. Then report back to me.
Who cares what's six?
Stranger! Weapons out!
I realize Genghis is a clone, but look!
Any clue how irresponsible?
The man from the stars. Come to see me. And you're not afraid to get your hands dirty. I guess the world out there is not so different than here. Genghis Khan, a pleasure to meet you. Manners cost me nothing. But make no mistake, I will do whatever it takes to escape this prison. I am pleased that the dangers out here are of no concern to you. You cannot be fully human if you trap yourself behind walls. The robots taught me many things any Mongol would know. So, hunting game, even such as this, is little challenge to me. So Franklin told you of us. Oh, that we're clones? Some of us think that makes us special. That the deeds of our namesakes are somehow ours. But that is blind arrogance. We are just people. Same as you. Same as anyone. Perhaps you are right. Certainly, many in Crucible would agree. But all this talk gets us nowhere. Too many of the others grovel at the feet of the damned robots, trying to play their roles in a broken game. The renegades will not submit, and one day, we will be free. I do not know. Everything outside of Crucible is unknown to us. I imagine the settled systems are not so settled that a man who does not shrink from violence can't make a place for himself, though. Were it that easy, I have died a dozen deaths trying to find a way out of Crucible. You get too far or disobey too much, then death. Crucible holds our lives in its hands. But now the robots have made a grave mistake. You can go where none of us can. You hold our future in your hands, and all the societies know it. Oh yes, you can go 1 or 2 miles from Crucible, and you drop dead. I have no knowledge of medicine, but it's probably poison. It boils my blood to be subjugated like this. But too many of the clones are sheep. As long as their pens are clean and comfortable, they bleat their arguments. Even if you think I deserve this cage, does everyone? If you want your heartstrings tugged, talk to Amelia Earhart. Doesn't she deserve the stars she craves? You know of the facility, yes? Go there and make the machines let us leave. It is not much to ask, and it will set us free.
I need to go out there. I want to see and do everything there is to be done. Your ship, she's a beauty. It travels the stars, right? Tell me, what's it like out there? that's just how I imagine it. My name's Amelia Earhart. When I first woke up in this place, in my head, I knew all about my namesake, her life and her accomplishments. But I also knew how to fly a starship, reactor limits, thrust acceleration vectors and everything. In my mind's eye, I can imagine flying out there, touching heaven itself. And yet, cruelly, here I sit. Am I that transparent? Listen, I know you owe me nothing at all, but I would do anything to get off of here. I know the societies want who knows what from you for who knows why, and I don't want to get involved in any politics. I just want, for my single self, a chance to explore. You won't regret it. Thanks. Do you want to talk about anything else? I have a few choice, unchristian thoughts about some of them, but I'm going to stay out of it. Listen, I'd understand you making any decision you have to regarding them. Any at all. I just hope you judge me separate. I don't wish harm on anyone. I just want to explore. Thanks for your time.
So, you have heard from the other societies. I must confess I'm very curious what an outsider thought of them, and their positions. You might be the first objectively neutral party we've ever come across. It takes more than a great person to achieve great things. Their traits need to match the circumstances. I fear we would be ill-equipped to do anything except sow chaos. The facility has gathered some of the most obstinate and dangerous personages throughout history. It has told them that they should lead in a golden age via whatever means they see appropriate. Setting us all loose and Parda as a whole would invite disaster. We are barely fit to lead ourselves. Certainly. It is evident that the facility is decaying. It is both unsustainable and unwise for us to fix and maintain the status quo. Our community must be weaned off the machines, learn how to build, grow, and govern ourselves, allowed to raise families so we can pass our lessons to the next generation, and to die when our allotted time is finished. One day we will be worthy of going to the stars. We are just not there yet. I am sure in time you will see the validity of my argument. Go to the facility and see what can be done.
Over here! We need to talk. Listen, it's not safe to talk here. It's about Roosevelt. There's something you need to know. Thank you. There's a cave just outside town. No chance of us being listened in on. Please, come as quick as you can. Ideally, before you go to the facility.
Learn how to do things for ourselves. How to defend, how to produce power.
I'll meet you at the cave.
Change is coming.
You actually came from space.
came. I just can't take a chance. These clones, they're psychotic, crazy. If they find out, I'm sorry. I just can't take the chance. You're just making it worse. I'm not Wyatt Earp. I wish. God, how I wish I was. I was cloned off a monster. America's first serial killer. H.H. Holmes.
This is unbelievable. Oh, you poor, poor man.
It's like a living nightmare. If you go to the facility, I know you'd find out who I am. And if you let any of these bloodthirsty maniacs know, they'd kill me. But no, that wouldn't be the end. Every time my new clone would appear, death, torture, pure hell. I'm afraid it's you or me. I'm going to kill you. I just don't see a way out. Wyatt Earp was a hero. Maybe I can. I'm dead, or worse, either way. I just am not sure. I'm gonna trust you, okay? Just don't tell anyone. This never happened.
I never tire of visiting worlds like this.
going to end you!
Whatever lurks here isn't very tidy, are they?
Catastrophic damage.
Oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen. It's all here.
Yes?
It is still hard to accept a stranger in our midst. We are not 100% sure, but I have a theory. The facility has been unreliable as long as I've been alive. My guess is that they are historical figures that just didn't get a proper education. Who's to say what Julius Caesar actually looked like? Or some modern person of note that we wouldn't even know about? Whoever they are, though, they are as smart and capable as the ones that know their identity. Let me see. You have no idea what a reassurance it is to learn even these hints of our past. It sounds like the facility is in ruins, but perhaps the restricted section is intact? Think of the answers it must contain, and perhaps a way to help us become self-sufficient. But there is no security override code here. I would know. Think. Galathea's sister ship. Yes, if it can be found. Certainly, they had the capability of going into the heart of the facility. If anyone can figure a manner of locating the Beagle, it's Ada Lovelace. I'll radio her and explain the situation. I'm sure she will make every effort to assist.
The others would defile the facility. Please, outsider.
So we did come from a spaceship. Of course we did. And there's another out there? What was the Beagle? Why did she and the Galathea part? But all of that in time. First, we must find her. She's not in this star system. I would have spotted her. The radio telescope. It has a default position. It resets every morning. I always wondered, why point at Bell 5? Petty frustration I've dealt with for years. But perhaps the facility looks for her sister. Yes, it makes sense. I can send you the coordinates. The Bell Star system is not far. The facility communicates via a secure frequency. When you arrive, tune into that.
Right. Let's get this crate into space.
All right, let's see what you've got. Light 'em up!
Enemy scrap drive has been disabled. We're due for our next jump soon. I'm making another run out of New Atlantis, taking universals out in the stars. To get closer to God and to appreciate the galaxy and all its majesty. We grav jumped to a few different systems. We're lucky to have some pilgrims who have never been off-world. Seeing so many marvels can be a life-changing experience. Space travel is dangerous, but fortunately, most ships don't engage us. Whether it's respect for our religious beliefs or the fact that we carry only passengers, I don't know. Have you ever felt something spiritual while traveling the stars? I've jumped dozens of times, and I still don't know I've had the revelation that Keeper Aquilus describes. But I'll keep jumping. I completely agree. It was a pleasure talking with you. We have to be going. But I hope God watches over you out there in the stars.
You will be returned to the stars.
Just give the word and we'll get underway. This is a surprisingly large amount of robot parts for a single vessel. This heat is uncomfortable, but I think we could survive continuously here without our suits.
Please don't go. We can do the experiment here. The facility has everything we need.
Our protocols say we are looking for planets with a 70% plus confidence level. The facility, barely 50%.
And how many planets have we surveyed? On Earth, they didn't know what we would find. My friend, we are getting old. Too old. If we want to have any chance to start the experiment ourselves, the facility is it.
When I was given my command, I swore an oath to adhere to the mission. Dr. Chang, you realize you are a mutineer. You've abandoned us.
The perfect is the enemy of the good. If you can't see that, then I guess there's nothing more to be said.
Failure.
Come on!
Massive damage. Total system failure. Engaging the enemy.
I picked you back on board.
Mrs. Franklin Roosevelt, we have an urgent situation developing on Crucible. Please, come immediately, before it's too late.
Oh, thank God you're here. Genghis has issued an ultimatum. He will attack the Pragmatist Society with everything he's got, unless you meet with him. I fear Amanarinas is siding with him too. We are on the brink of war. A war I will not shrink from, not when we are so close to victory. Doubtful. Genghis and I have a long history, always at cross purposes. But worryingly, Amon-Arenas may be with him. It's possible we can convince her to back down. I will send a message. We are meeting under flag of truce, something sacred to us. So, no matter how much he vexes you, keep your gun holstered.
The outsider, Franklin.
Amon-Arenas, Genghis, I had hoped we would not be meeting like this after so short a respite from war.
You drove us here, Franklin. Did you think we would let the outsider just hand the pragmatist victory? Stranger, if you do not change your course, there will be none of the pragmatists alive to help. You want peace? Then let the renegades go free. Roosevelt can do whatever he wants with the others.
This is not what we agreed, Genghis. Only those who have passed the test can leave Crucible.
This is my test. Here and now. And I intend to pass it. In blood, if I have to. If you let us leave Crucible, then the pragmatists can do whatever they want here. With my blessings.
Under no circumstances can I agree to that. Genghis specifically should never, ever leave this planet.
So there it is. It is spite. That is why the great Franklin Delano Roosevelt drives Crucible to ruin. To deny me my own chance to live in the settled systems.
Your namesake was a plague upon the world. Arguably the greatest butcher in human history. If there was even a fraction of a chance I would be unleashing that upon the stars, I would do anything in my power to stop it. Perhaps you are right. Amon-Arenas, the facility and its test and mission are flawed, broken. We all know it. And if you are allowed to author that test, then you control us all.
So the answer is we are all imprisoned here? You leave us no choice but to join the renegades and end your society.
20 years.
What?
We have to stand on our own 2 feet to earn a chance at freedom. So let the outsider reprogram the facility, and for 20 years we work together to make Crucible truly ours. And after, we institute a test, which we both author with mutual veto power, and any who pass may leave.
Do not let the politician cloud your head with pretty words.
You think I would accept this? We have been going in circles for so long.
We could kill them. Kill them all. And then we could dictate any terms we like.
I only lead my people to battle when I must. Do you promise, Mr. Roosevelt, a fair test? One that we can pass in our lifetime?
I will not make it easy, but it will be, as you say, fair.
No! Amon-Arenas, this is a trick!
Roosevelt has done many things that infuriate me. But his honor, I have never had to question. The believers will not fight. Let the gods decide which of you is right. I think you have the makings of a fine ruler yourself.
You will regret this, Amanarinas. Mightily. Then we will meet on the field of battle. The heavens will judge who is worthy.
So be it. We have fortified the society, but this will never end until Genghis is dead. He is the linchpin. If you take him out, I know an armistice can be reached. In his every incarnation, he has brought misery to us. Let us deal with him one last time.
Please, deadly trouble is brewing. Deal with it, and we can converse at length.
You're mine.
Please, deadly trouble is...
It is over. Why does it always come down to force? I hope your settled systems has truly learned from the past. Clearly, we have not. To be a leader, a true leader, you must make terrible choices, and then live with them. If it is any consolation, they gave us no choice. Please, go to the facility and make it so that it will obey my instructions, so we can finally grow as a people.
Blood runs in the streets again. I had hoped, however naively, that we were past that. I do not hold you responsible, but your arrival was certainly a lethal catalyst. May I help you? So your mission to the Beagle was a success? Let me see. It is... done. There is a standard cipher used by the facility. It took me many years and, well, lifetimes to overcome. And now, the mysteries of the facility await you. I pray you choose what befalls us wisely.